Welcome to Grey County Life at Home. I'm one of your hosts, Rhonda Brown, and we have the wonderful Mary Jane Murray. Good morning, Mary Jane. How are you this week?
Oh, good morning, Rhonda. Doing really well. We've got this gorgeous, gorgeous summer day. However, we are in for a bit of a heat wave, so we do have to be careful and spend your time outdoors wisely and know where your cooling stations are within your community to be safe.
Absolutely. I just wanted to say, too, that's why I'm not sitting with Charlie today, because I don't know, anybody who owns a dog or a cat or a lap animal, they know that they're like a little furnace. And I've got the air conditioning on, which is lovely, but we don't keep it at an icebox temperature. So staying away from each other sometimes is a lot easier in this kind of a heat wave.
Well, I was just going to comment on missing Charlie Brown, but he's staying cool and comfortable. That's the thing.
Well, I guess this is our last regular season show, which is, people don't realize that we've been doing this for quite a while, and that it's always nice to have that little summer break. But we do have some special shows taped, don't we?
We do, and we've got celebrity cooks coming up with the amazing Rogers TV team, and they are our celebrity cooks who are sharing their summer recipes, and it's a real eclectic and funny. They dazzle and they entertain us. Each show is so different and unique. You'll want to tune in for our summer show, Celebrity Cooks. The Rogers team are just too much fun.
I would have to agree. And I want to just put it out there right now that we've been enjoying and imbibing, me personally, all the recipes that we've been learning so far. And yes, so I'm feeling a little sluggish these days. So I want to be accountable. So come September, when we're back on our regular season, I am hoping to come back to say that I have done my exercising and I have feeling much better and maybe a little more portion control, Mary Jane.
Well, it was certainly hard to keep that under control, that's for sure. And I'm sure our viewers will certainly enjoy the humor and the techniques, the precision and the timing for each of these recipes, and enjoy a new flavor for our summer shows.
Yes, it does. I do feel like I've been kind of sparked with some more interest in the kitchen. I went to a potluck actually last night for the Georgian Bay Concert Choir, and my son Emerson made meatballs. And they were not the typical meatballs that you get at these functions, that, M&M meats with a bottle of barbecue sauce. Handmade, they were spectacular. So it's always nice to try something new, and watching somebody do a recipe on our show will give you some really fabulous ideas for sure.
Oh, they will. But you and I were very busy on the weekend because there's a lot going on. You and I sort of divvy up the opportunities. And so I went to the Peony Gardens at Emily B's home out in Annan, which was spectacular. But not only that, she's added so many new features to her gardens, and she and Dennis have done an amazing job. And while I was there, there's a lot of vendors as well. So I met up with the Grey County Master Gardeners because they had their table set up to answer questions. And, we feature the Grey County Master Gardeners on our Grey County Life because they bring such great information and have wonderful webinars. And when I was talking to Vicki, she said, "Oh, we have an event coming up in September. We talk about that on the show?" And I said, "Your event, we don't start our new season till September 7th, and their event is September the 10th. planting season, we think of only in the spring. Master Gardener said, wait a minute, there's a second planting season in the fall, and they're having their plant sale at the Heritage Place Mall on Saturday, September the 10th, from starting at 10 a.m. in the morning. And then you went to
the Pride Parade in downtown Owen Sound, and we hosted that with Sharon Skelly and I. And I've got to say, it was a spectacular event. There were piles of people, and it's a happy, joyous, inclusive, loving, event. And it certainly opened my eyes to how many people have loved ones and friends and colleagues that they are allies of. And being an ally of someone who maybe identifies differently or whatever it may be, having allies is so important. So it was a great day, actually. It was a really great day. So I'm really glad we got to highlight that on Rogers this year.
Well, I'm very grateful to live in a community that celebrates Pride with fun and joy and celebrations. I mean, that really speaks to our community in terms of inclusion and diversity and respect.
It does. And, some people, as I said when I was with Sharon, some people don't think that we need to have a parade for that sort of thing. And I disagree. I think that bringing awareness and acceptance is something that is absolutely necessary for how these people have suffered. Some people have suffered just because of their gender identity, or, I just don't think, or their sexual preferences, I should say, as well. Terrible with the terminology, but I'm learning, and that's a good thing. But we are going to have a fabulous show today, Mary Jane, and we hope everybody stays tuned to Grey County Life on Rogers at Home.
This program is brought to you by Ignite TV. Now you're in command. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
Sometimes, for a wish to come true, it takes a kingdom, because together is stronger. Tied tight, united we stand, in honor of one child's wish, to fuel the fire that will grant many more. Join the kingdom.
Welcome back to Grey County Life at Home. And we have a special, very special guest with us today, because Krista Mckee is the host of Wandering Grey Bruce. That's only one of her many activities, and we are so pleased to have her today. And she is going to be talking to us about an event that's coming up with the Friends of Hibou. Now, Krista is a gal who just likes to be out in nature all the time. So hosting Wandering Grey Bruce on Rogers TV and linking it with her other outdoor activities and volunteerism. So welcome, Krista, and it's such a pleasure to see you live.
Thank you, Mary Jane and Rhonda. It's great to be on your show. Yes, I'm very excited to be part of Grey County Life today because we do have an excellent event coming up with the Friends of Hibou, and of course, our partner at Grey Sawville Conservation, who I used to be employed with. So the Friends of Hibou actually started back in, I believe, 2014, and it was the brainchild of Bob and Marie Knapp. And they started the Friends of Hibou because Bob had a really close link. He was one of the movers and shakers back in the 1970s when the many different pieces of property kind of came up for sale. And Bob and Fred Gebert and Matt Kirk were instrumental in getting funds raised and purchasing the property that we now call Hibou Conservation Area. So Bob and Marie have a love for Hibou Conservation Area, and because of them, it is what we can enjoy today. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So when I retired, they asked me if I'd like to be part of Friends of Hibou, which I love Hibou because I actually have a personal link to it as well. I started there as an experienced student back in, we'll say the 1980s. Not that I want to date myself, but I worked in the gatehouse at Hibou Conservation Area. So it was a wonderful summer working there and a busy, busy spot because Hibou is only a 5-minute drive from the city of Owen Sound to a lovely sand beach, washrooms, 2 pavilions, and it also has about a 2.5 kilometer hiking trail along the shoreline. It's actually the largest publicly owned shoreline in Grey County, I believe. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a pretty amazing spot, and it's kind of a hidden gem, and we decided to host, in conjunction with Grey Sawville Conservation, the free family fun day. So Grey Sawville is waiving the parking fee, and we have an absolute fabulous day planned for families. So yeah, we're really excited about it.
Wow.
Well, first of all, this is a really great introduction to Hibou. So for those folks who don't know where it's located and want to experience this little gem, and particularly on Sunday, August the 7th.
August the 7th.
How do you get to it?
So if you were heading, I'm going to say north on 3rd Avenue East, you would drive past the Harry Lumley Bayshore Community Center and head towards Leaf, which is the Bayshore Road, or also known as Grey County Road 15. And once you get out of the city limits, you kind of make a very large bend in the road, and the next laneway on your left is the entrance into the sand beach area. On your way to that area, you actually have a very large stone gate that says Hibou Conservation Area on your right, because there is about 260 acres of land on both sides of the road that is Hibou Conservation Area. So it's very easy to find, very close to Owen Sound, and why not go to Hibou instead of driving 30 minutes to Sawville Beach? You know, you've got a sand beach just 5 minutes away. The prices of gas right now would definitely be worth your while checking out Hibou Conservation Area. So yes, please mark Sunday, August the 7th on your calendar, because we are very excited to have the gates open at 10 o'clock and we'll be there till 3 with tons of family fun.
And I noticed when I was driving by that the gates are painted blue.
They are, yeah.
So they're easy to landmark or identify. That's Hibou because the gates are blue.
That's right. So when you're traveling from Owen Sound towards Leith, you'll actually pass about 2 or 3 sets of blue gates before you come to the actual entranceway into the sand beach area. And you have to drive by the gatehouse once you get in there. And there's 3 parking lots. And another thing that we're really pleased is that we have partnered with the Optimist Sydenham Club youth group. And during COVID, believe it or not, they were able to raise an extraordinary amount of money, and they have installed brand new playground equipment at Hibou. So there's lots of fun things for kids to do at Hibou other than just the sand beach. Yeah.
Wow, I've spent lots of afternoons there with my kids when they were little. And I mean, it goes back to me being in grade 8 and riding my bicycle out there to swim all day with my best friend. So it's, I think it's a wonderful spot and absolutely one of our gems. And the hiking just across the road is amazing. It's beautiful. All seasons of the year too.
Yes. And that's one of the great milestones that the Friends of Hibou were able to do. They were able to successfully obtain a grant from the TD Friends of the Environment back about 6 years ago. And they were able to put in a whole new section of boardwalk that goes through the wetland area there. And other fundraising, they've been very close with the Community Foundation Grey Bruce as well. And we've received money from them through an endowment fund. And been able to replace boards and keep the boardwalk up. One of the things that Bob was very passionate about was putting together an interpretive hike. So you can actually download an interpretive hike guide and hike the trail system on the other side of the road. So you get to go to different areas that are numbered and try to find that section of trail. And then learn all the cool things about it. So Hibou has a lot of really cool things to do once you get there. Yeah. But yes, concentrating on our day, our Free Family Fun Day, when you first arrive, you'll be given a passport. And it's your passport to all sorts of educational activities. And we're even going to have live snakes. Oh, you could imagine. I know we dread seeing them in the flower bed. Oh, I know. But sensational snakes are going to be there. And they're going to have many different species of snakes that live in Ontario and some turtles as well. A very well-informed group of people that you can ask all sorts of questions. And the interesting part about snakes, some of them are live born, some of them are born from eggs. So there's a lot of cool things to learn. There'll be different activities that you can do that day. How to measure a tree. There'll be a scavenger hunt that the Optimist Club will be putting together for us as well. Sydenham Sportsman Association is going to be there as well. So there's all sorts of things and activities that you have to do to fill your passport and then enter it in a draw to win a season's pass that Grace Sabo is putting up for grabs. So which is really neat. We've also been very, very fortunate, our sponsors this year, and I have to do a huge shout out to them. Of course, the Grace Sabo Conservation Foundation has supported us. The Community Foundation Grey Bruce, David Lawson Investment Advisor with BMO Nesbitt Burns, the Retired Teachers of Ontario, and CAFRAMO. So they have been just absolute saints in supporting our activity. And you know, as well as everyone else, when you're trying to put together an event to keep it free, we depend on our sponsors to help us pull it off. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, they've discovered that Hibou is a gem and they just want to be part of it and to promote it. But when I read the information about the snakes, my eyes slid down the list to see the Big Bay ice cream.
Yeah, yeah, we're
So I went, "Phew."
yes. So one of the nice things, the snakes are going to be in one section, far away from the fundraising barbecues at the Optimist Club and the Big Bay ice cream. So if you're afraid of snakes, come out and have some ice cream. You know, you don't have to have children to take part. You can just come and enjoy the day. You can look from afar at the snakes. But I would really encourage people to come and learn about them because they're not cold and slithery. I've always had a phobia of snakes, even though I like being outside. But I did finally conquer one of my fears and held one. And it's not as bad as what you think.
We'll leave that up to you, Miss, because I don't know if I would agree with that. Now, so that day, the parking fees are waived. For a family, what would a parking pass cost and what would it include?
Okay, so you can purchase, many years ago, Grace Sawville Conservation initiated a season's pass. And that's going back, I'm going to say maybe 30 years ago. But in today's society, everyone has parking fees, whether you go to Sawville Beach, whether you go to the national parks, provincial parks, everyone has a parking fee because there is huge capital infrastructure that has to be upkept, right? It's just a thing of way of life now. So you can purchase a season's pass from Grace Sawville Conservation for $40 if you are a resident. Non-residents, it is a bit more, but you can either call the office at Grace Sawville Conservation at 519-376-3076, and you can purchase a season's pass with your MasterCard or Visa, or you can actually go online through an app called Mckee Pay, which is a large firm that manages parking. I believe it's the same firm that manages the Sawville Beach parking as well. So there are, and if you have a cell phone, you know, if you like kind of flying by the seat of your pants and going for a drive someday, you can actually scan the QR code, which takes you right to the Mckee Pay website, and you can pay for your parking fee that way. So yeah, there's lots of different ways. And it's you know, it's a very small price to pay for all the properties that you can enjoy with Grace Sawville Conservation, because you have to remember they own over 28,000 acres of land. So there's a lot of upkeep and a lot of things to do with all those properties. Yeah.
And that one pass gets you into all of their locations.
All of Grace Sawville's locations, yes. So just off the top of my head, there's the 4 waterfalls, right? We've got Ingalls Falls, Indian, Eugenia, Jones, plus Old Baldy. And Rhonda and I have been to Old Baldy. I dragged her up there, and Darlene, which was a memorable, you know, thing that we did with Darlene. We dragged her up to the lookout at Old Baldy, and we had a wonderful time that day. But again, that's one of the spots that you would need a parking pass. Yeah.
So you volunteer with the Friends of Hibou.
Mm-hmm.
How does somebody get a hold of them, and what kind of volunteer activities would you do other than what you're doing today?
So yeah, definitely reach out through the Friends of Hibou webpage, which is friendsofhibou.com. And you can sign up. We're always looking for volunteers. We do have a work party where we're clearing the just kind of the shrubs that kind of grow in over time along the hiking trail. But the event that we have on Sunday, August the 7th, is a special event. We don't do that every year, but we just keep the trails up. And in the wintertime, we sometimes host snowshoe events, or we'll do hikes during the summer as well. But the Friends of Hibou just kind of keep up the boardwalk, and we have a low profile. So again, what we're doing on Sunday, August the 7th is a big event for us, but we are partnered with Grace Harbor Conservation. Yeah.
Well, this is a great opportunity for people and families in our community who haven't experienced Hibou before and would like to, as you said, keep things local this year just because of the gas prices, and you have the opportunity to experience the gorgeous waters and the sand beach, and maybe that will inspire people to purchase parking passes in the future to help support what's going on at Hibou.
That's right. Yeah. Because there, we have to stop and think. We know what it's like right now with the prices going up, right? So definitely staying local and traveling areas that are within a decent drive, right? We can definitely do a vacation in our own backyard, for sure.
Well, also with Wandering Grey Bruce, as you host on Rogers TV, you're also traveling locally to explore Grey County.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. And we have some really cool things. I'm just starting to prepare the lineup for that. So I'm pretty excited. We've got some really neat things coming up. So I don't want to do a spoiler alert. I don't want to ruin anything or jinx anything, but we've had some interesting times with Wandering Grey Bruce. Some of the things that have happened in the background while we're trying to film something, we won't talk about because it's kind of like the birds and the bees, and we don't want to go there. But oh my goodness, we've had such a good time with Wandering Grey Bruce, and I have to do a huge shout out to Daryl, who is my new cameraman. He is just simply fabulous with Rogers TV. Yeah.
Okay, well, we are going to have to wrap up. So let's just have the basic details for the event.
Sure. So definitely come out, mark it on your calendar, Sunday, August the 7th from 10 until 3 at Hibou Conservation Area. And when you arrive, you'll receive your passport with lots of things to do for the day. And definitely bring your wallet and support Big Bay Ice Cream and the fundraising activities for the Optimist Club. And we would love to see you there because it's just going to be a very lovely, laid-back day learning about wonderful environmental things.
My Uncle Cheney was one of over 150,000 Indigenous children that were taken to residential schools between the 1800s and 1996. My uncle ran away from school wanting to get home to his mom and dad, and sadly he didn't make it and died of exposure. When Gord Downey found out about my late Uncle Cheney's story, he wrote Secret Path, a series of poems that became an album, then a graphic novel, a documentary, and a concert. Gord met my family, and together we formed the Gord Downey and Cheney Winjack Fund. Together, we are sharing Secret Path and other reconciliation resources with legacy schools, setting up legacy spaces across Canada, and hosting events like Secret Path Week to inspire all Canadians to engage in reconciliation. Before he left us, Gord asked us all to do something.
You're gonna figure it out.
Will you join us? Together, we can make Canada a better place.
Hello everyone, your host Antoine Lahashim here on the couch, and welcome to season 8. Yay! 8 seasons, and we've got a lot of awesome guests coming up, so keep watching.
Every year, dozens of Canadians are killed or seriously injured because they take risks around railway tracks. Talk to your loved ones about rail safety. Visit stoptracktragedies.ca.
Welcome back to Grey County Life at Home. I'm one of your hosts, Rhonda Brown, and we have the lovely Mary Jane Murray. And we have so many things going on in Grey Bruce, Owen Sound this summer. And we've got some lovely women here who are just a dynamic team, I think, Mary Jane.
Oh, absolutely. And these women plan all these events that are happening down at the River District. And I'm so grateful to see that our city is just coming alive again and all these events are happening. So we have Jen Wright, who is the events and activation coordinator, and she has an event to talk about. And we have Melissa Cranny, who is a tourism and marketing coordinator, and she has an event to talk about. And then we have Vivica Gravel, who is the community development coordinator, and she has another event to talk about. So let's get started with Jen. And Jen, what are you featuring today?
So we're going to talk about the Sound Waterfront Festival. It's a 4-day multicultural festival that the city of Owen Sound is hosting, as well as many great community partners that have helped to sponsor the event, as well as the Ontario Cultural Attractions Fund, which has been a big proponent in making this happen for us. So we have 4 days of festival fun. We start out on Thursday, June the 30th, and that's the Youth Day happening at the Owen Sound Visitor Center. So we have lots of games, activations, food and craft vendors. We've got yoga happening, lots of scavenger hunt, fire building, lots of activities happening for the kids, and that starts at noon and runs till 8 o'clock that evening. The following day, of course, is our big Canada Day celebration. We're over at Kelso Beach at Nawash Park, and we'll start the celebrations there at noon. And we have so much planned for the day. Food and craft vendors, we've got the fireworks during the evening, live entertainment throughout the entire day, and we've got a dog show happening, and Coca-Cola truck will be there. So it's going to be a fun, fantastic day for families to come down, check out all these activities, and be a part of our Canada Day celebrations with us. And then on Saturday, which is July the 2nd, we come back to Kelso Beach at Nawash Park at the amphitheater, and we're featuring Black History. We've got the Sheffield Black History Museum from Corkscrew coming over with their artifacts and some of their pretty cool museum finds that they have. And we have live entertainment happening throughout the day as well. A lot of our local Black History musicians. And then on Sunday, we're over at the Reconciliation Garden at Nawash Park for a day of truth and reconciliation, and that starts at 9:30 a.m. And they're going to be doing an opening water and fire ceremony that day, as well as some teachings, rock painting for the kids, some bead making, and they've got a really neat guided walking tour of Nawash Park as well. So we have a full weekend. You can find all the details at owensound.ca/waterfront festival. And as part of that festival, we have a couple tours that are happening. One of them is the big Canoe Tour, which will be on the Saturday. You can come and be a part of that. It's free. They take 10 people per canoe load, and they will do little tours up and down the Sydenham River for probably about a 20-minute to a half-an-hour tour. So we're hoping we can get some folks out on the water. They provide all of the life jackets, everything, and you just have to sign a waiver before you go. The second tour happening that same day is the Corkscrew Spirit Tour, and I'm going to let Melissa talk about that because that's Melissa's creation and baby. So we'll let her tell the folks on Rogers TV what that's about.
Oh, that's wonderful. And I just have a question before we get started, Melissa. For the Waterfront Festival, is there a fee? Do you purchase a ticket?
No, it's all free.
Oh, perfect. And welcome, Melissa. And what about the Corkscrew tours?
Hi, so the Corkscrew Spirit Tour, now that is something that's not free that weekend. It's something that you purchase tickets for, and I'll tell you a little bit about it and where to get tickets. So it's happening on July 2nd. You can purchase tickets at the Attack Box office online. And what it is it merges the Corkscrew City Tour and the Billy Bishop Ghost Walk Tour. So we put the two together. You're going to hear about some frightening history tales throughout the city, but you're also going to learn about the Prohibition in Owen Sound. So some really great bootlegging tales. We have Richard Thomas, who is a local historian who knows all the details of that era. Some really great stories. And what we do is we tour throughout Owen Sound. So we get to try some different local brew, so beer, cider, and wine. We go to Mudtown Station. We have a tour of the brewery. You'll have a meal. We will walk. This is a walking tour. If we do have rain, we do have backup transportation available. And there's all kinds of things, live theater. We're going on a haunted tour of the Roxy. My gosh, there's just so many fun things, music, stories. Yeah, it'll be a really great time. Another feature that we have, Jen had mentioned about the Big Canoe project. And for an extra add-on purchase, there's limited seating available where the first tour you can purchase a ticket and actually paddle across to meet at the first location, which is Mudtown Station. During that crossing, James from the Billy Bishop will tell us some spooky harbor tales to sort of kick off the tour. So that's something that's available as well. I think I've covered everything, but it should be really fun. I'm looking forward to it. Tickets are about 50% sold. So if you're thinking of going, now would be the time to get your tickets. And that's at the Attack box office online.
Well, we have a really rich history in so many different areas, particularly centered around our waterfront and the historical aspects of how we were a major port city at one point. And of course, with Billy Bishop and his heritage. And of course, there is some spiritual activity that happens in the museum. I happened to be there.
There absolutely is. There is for sure. Yeah.
So how much are the tickets?
So tickets are $98. That covers everything. And then the add-on ticket, if you decide to do the canoe, it's an extra $10.
Well, lots to do that day. Wonderful. And of course, Vivica, we're on to the next event.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to keep you busy this summer, that's for sure. I've already got my tickets for the Corkscrew City Tour or Spirit Tour, and I could not be more excited about all of it. Very excited to share that and everything. So do make sure to get your tickets or I'll just buy them all. So as Mary Jane said, I'm Vivica. I'm the Community Development Coordinator for the City and the River District. And on July 9th, after a 2-year absence, the Honest Street Sale is back. And I could not be more excited to bring this, back to the River District for everyone. This is a free, family-friendly event. We're going to see the resurgence of the Summer Folk stage, this time at the Grey Gallery Garden. So it'll be a little bit more of an intimate feel. Music starting there at 10 a.m., plenty of seats. We're going to have lots of picnic tables around for people to stay a while, relax, take a leisurely stroll through all of the shops, and of course, over 100 vendors on street for people to make purchases and maybe even get that, I don't want to say it, Christmas shopping done early. So I mean, hey, you can start it now. We've brought in vendors from all over the place, lots of unique stuff. New vendors this year, some great food as always. This will be our first event where we've got the patios set up. So you can come have, a nice leisurely lunch or breakfast. The event starts at 8 a.m., runs until 3 p.m. Lots of stuff for kids to do. Owen Sound Tourism will actually be there with a bunch of lawn games for kids and for adults, of course, to take part in. I believe you have giant Jenga,
giant Connect 4,
a couple of beanbag tosses, cornhole, and those kinds of things. So lots of things to see and do. We've got some, I believe we have a face painter, body artists, and of course there'll be cotton candy. So don't worry. That is one of the most important things for me, is that there's cotton candy. And, or just candy in general, just sweets of all kinds.
Yeah.
As part of the River District, we're going to have a tent and area set up with a bunch of street chalk for any artist, really, young and old, to come and just creative design, spend a little time in the shade, draw some chalk art, things like that. Owen Sound Tourism will be running some sort of like a scavenger hunt, those kinds of
stuff, some really cool plants.
Yeah.
That could come around all over.
They're young and they have tons of energy. So we have a lot of really great stuff happening, some live entertainment walking up and down the street as well. Billy Bishop will be on site for that event too. And we could not be more excited to be bringing this back. Same event, a little bit more lively, I think. So make sure to check out owensoundriverdistrict.ca or our socials, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at River District OS.
What I like about this series of events is that it's not only is it family friendly, but it's also geared to families who enjoy free events and for families who like to go to paid events. So there's something for everybody, something for all ages and for all limits on your pocketbook as well. And so this is a great opportunity to bring people down into Owen Sound, into celebrating all the special areas that we have. And you can choose which ones you want to attend.
Exactly. I mean, we would say, come to them all.
Well, yeah, that's exactly right. But I don't think the toddlers are allowed on this Corkscrew Spirit Tour. Is that right?
I'm going to say this one is definitely for the parents. You might want to find a sitter and definitely enjoy in this tour without the children. That's for the children. This tour is for the big children.
That's right.
As I said, something for everyone.
Yes.
So I think.
So go ahead, Mary Jane.
Well, just a comment. I think the last time we talked, I asked you women if you ever had the opportunity to sleep because you're just so busy planning all these events.
I think we sleep in September. There's a bit of a lull in September before we start planning for next year.
I
And
feel like October for me.
Yeah.
October is a good month for tourism. We just start planning for next year.
yeah,
I don't know what you guys, I'm planning for Christmas after this event is done.
yeah, and then we have New Year's as well. So I don't think we
No.
sleep actually. And Hockey Day will be January 2023. Fingers crossed. So yeah, I don't actually know when we will sleep.
I'm giving it up, really. It's overrated.
Who needs sleep?
Yeah.
Parking on the day of the events, ladies, downtown, will there be free parking for people? Any bus activity to get people down into the River District?
So for the hottest street sale, 2nd Avenue will be closed. 10th and 8th will be open. 9th will also be closed to through traffic. But all of the main city lots will still be open. So everything from behind City Hall. There's a couple of lots off on the 700 block as well. And of course, behind, Shoppers Clothing and Scotiabank and things like that. All of that parking is open. And I mean, I don't even believe there's a limit on the weekends. So that's all free parking, and all the street parking as well. That's not on 2nd Avenue will be open.
Okay.
Well, yes, because we want to draw people in from local communities that would have to drive into Owen Sound as well, because you're wanting to be inclusive to as many residents in Grey County and Bruce County to come and visit.
Absolutely. And there is, beyond just the east side as well, there's tons of parking on the west side, in front of the library, in front of the Tom, and down by the Edgewater building and all those kinds of things. So there's plenty. Oh, Visitor Center has a giant parking lot. So that is all available for everyone.
Yeah. And in regards to the Waterfront Festival for Youth, they will have, obviously, the Visitors Center has its own double parking lots. But it's also a quick walk across the bridge to Kelso Beach. There's tons of parking there, and vice versa for the Friday and Saturday at Kelso Beach. There's tons of parking as well as over across the road at Keystone. They've opened up their parking lot to us as well. So yeah, lots of parking, easily accessible, and we're really looking forward to all of the events that the City of Owen Sound has on its docket for July.
Will the city buses be running?
If they're scheduled to run, yes.
Okay.
Just regular route times. Perfect. Yeah. I would say everybody is so excited about having just a regular summer, whether some people are wearing masks and some people aren't. I think that's just going to be a way of life going forward. But boy, our downtown, our river district is going to be hopping, and it's going to feel like normal life. Yay!
Finally.
Yeah, that's about it. So, it's interesting actually that you mentioned that right after these events finish, you start the planning for next year, you know, and tweaking and looking after that. I mean, the man hours that you put into this are just incredible.
Yeah, for sure. We all do. But we have a really great team here at the city. And, you know, if there's something that we are challenged by or have a hard time finding, there's a lot of resources and a lot of staff it's a great team that people will jump on board and help when needed.
Yeah. I think if the recent Pride Parade is any indicator of how many people you're going to have and how much people are looking forward to being out and about and enjoying these festivities, I think it's going to be a huge success, everything this summer.
Yeah, us too.
Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, thank you, ladies. Thank you so much. And I am terrible with names, but I believe we've got Jen, Melissa, and Vivica. And we thank you so much for the work you put into this stuff. And we look forward to seeing you down in the River District this summer.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Rhonda and Mary Jane.
Oh, thank you. Have fun.
Hope to see you there.
Hi, I'm Thomas Chase, a right wing with the Owen Sound Attack. Go behind the scenes with your favorite team on Attack Rap every Tuesday on Rogers TV.
I did it. I need it.
The hero gave it.
And I am alive.
As an organ donor, you can save up to 8 lives and enhance the lives of 75 others. Please go to our website. Pledge a gift of life. You'll be glad you did.
Don't forget to join us on Grey County Life at Home in the summertime.
Well, our summer show is going to be fabulous because it's called Celebrity Cooks with the Rogers TV.
Welcome back to Grey County Life at Home for our final regular season episode. But we have the wonderful Renee here for our adorable adoptables. And oh my goodness, she really brought it to the table today. Miss Renee, who is this adorable thing?
Well, this little fella is extra special. First of all, he was born here at the shelter, so we've known him since birth and we're quite fond of him. He is the last of his litter, and he's a little extra special in that he was born a little abnormal. And I'm going to try to turn him around so you can take a good look at it. See his leg? It's a little weird.
Oh.
Yeah, it's okay. He doesn't know. This little guy was born with a leg deformity. I don't really know how else to put that. It came out looking like a candy cane instead of a regular leg. And the pad on his foot is actually on the wrong side, which allows him to walk on his leg kind of backwards, which is very weird to say. And most of the TV world just went, what the heck is that? It happens. I mean, we can't all be perfect in the world, and this little fella is not perfect. When he walks, he uses his 3 good legs, and his other leg kind of swings back and forth like a pendulum. And we've called him TikTok. Now, you can certainly change that, but it looks like a little clock thing swinging back and forth, and it's really darn adorable. I mean, certainly you could change his name, but we like it. Little TikTok, again, has been with us since birth, and he's about 9 weeks old now. He's had his vaccines. He's been dewormed. He's been defleed. He's litter trained. He has met dogs, he's met cats, he's met bunnies, he's met guinea pigs, and he's good with really just about anything. He is going to live a completely normal little life. He's just going to be a little extra skippy. The only concern would be if he got to be a very big fat cat, that would be a little bit difficult for him to get around, which, I mean, it's not good for any of them. So he's just like everybody else that way. We're kind of hoping his extra differences make him a little extra appealing to people. Sometimes we got to work what we got to work. And if he's breaking your heart, give us a call. He is definitely not in any way in any kind of pain or any discomfort. He doesn't know any different. He thinks that he's supposed to be that way, and that's all okay. We have had a consult with a veterinarian about an amputation, and they don't believe that that's necessary, so there should be no need for anybody to do that later. I know we've had a couple of people ask about whether or not we think there's going to be any medical issues in the future, and we don't think so. Of course, we never promise that with anybody, but his leg should not be any reason for any concern. It's just going to continue to swing back and forth and do its thing as he lives his life.
Well, he's so cuddly and he's so adorable. And before we went on air, the first thing we said is, "Oh, Renee, you're breaking our hearts here." But that face, I mean, he's just such a lovely, lovely little cuddly kitten.
He definitely is. He's going to be, I don't know if it's kind of hard to tell. He's going to be actually a long-haired little cat. There's a better look at you. He's going to be long-haired, and you might not even see it. His leg might just blend right in. Who knows? He's got the personality that's definitely going to make him better than perfect anyway. As you can see, we've become quite close. He's purring in my ear. We've kind of babied him his entire life. So he's been extra spoiled, which is okay. He is compatible with other cats, so we'd love to see him go with another cat. In saying that, it's going to be a little harder for him to get away. So definitely a cat that's good with cats is strongly recommended. Also with dogs, he's fine with them. Same thing. We have to remember it might take him a little extra to get away from a dog if they're rough housing. So a dog that is gentle with cats would be ideal. Beyond that, I mean, if you waited till he got a little bit bigger to introduce them, just so that he had that little bit of extra speed behind him, it would be totally fine anyway. And we always recommend cats and dogs to be indoor pets. We don't want to see him outside, but especially not in his case, because he runs a higher risk of, being taken out by things, right? Because you are a little bit slower. right? We get the little leg of rocking though. It's pretty darn cute.
So this kitten would be very good for maybe a senior's home.
Oh my gosh, he would be great for a senior's home. He'd be great just about anywhere. Tiny children, of course, we need to teach them, as with all kittens, to be gentle, a little extra gentle in this case. He's not going to land on all fours when you drop him. Sorry, buddy, that's the truth. He's got to be a little extra babied, but he's totally fine with that. As you can see, he's quite content to just sit here, aren't you?
Well,
He's
I
sweet.
do have to ask, as I do in every segment, how is Shadow, the black lab?
Oh, she went home, and we knew she would, and we were so happy for that because she was really sad here. As if you remember on the show, she wanted nothing more than to be in my lap, sulking the whole time, and she's got herself somebody that wanted a lap dog, so it worked out very well for her. I've been getting all sorts of pictures of their snuggles, so she's living life now, which is great. Oh, where are you going, bud?
I think you're batting 1,000 now, aren't you? Like every animal has been adopted.
That's why we're here. I love it. He's gone on an adventure. See, he's a totally fine cat. He's fine. He's gone.
Yeah. Oh, what a sweetheart. He is really cute. Really.
So with summer coming up, do you have some summer tips? Because this is our last show with you until September.
Aw, we'll miss you. It's all good. It is incredibly hot today. We're seeing a lot of really fast heat flashes come through. We have days where it's not so bad, and then all of a sudden it's scorching. People need to keep an eye on the weather, and remember your pets. They need to have access to shade. They have to have access to a breeze. More importantly, water is super, super important. Don't leave your dog in the car. Don't leave him tied up outside if he doesn't have shade. All of those things need to be remembered. Also, something that we don't talk about very often, cats also require more water and the same sort of things. People seem to forget that a cat also suffers from heat. They're carrying a lot of fur, and they don't like to be touched and picked up and prodded quite as much in the heat. Something to keep in mind. We get a lot of calls about bites with dogs and cats because they're unhappy. Just like the rest of us, we get a little grumpy. And super important as well to keep in mind that wildlife also get quite hot and unhappy. The reason I'm mentioning that, we've had an increase of calls, people seeing wildlife throughout the day. And of course, they're worried immediately about rabies, and always be worried about rabies. But with the hotter temperatures we see, they're also uncomfortable. They're doing a lot of moving around, looking for cooler temperatures. They're looking for water sources. So give us a call if you're worried so that we can, I guess, direct you in the right direction, whether it's something to be worried about or not. And again, keep in mind that if you are seeing something, never approach it. Give us a call. Give the experts a call. The Ministry of Natural Resources can certainly help you as well. You're getting more feisty by the second.
Renee, thank you so much for a wonderful season and all of the wonderful, adorable adoptables.
Call the Rogers TV viewer response line. Email us or connect with us on social media.
We can be hurt. We can be bruised. We can be broken. Slowed down, confused, and even numbed. But we can't be defeated. We're built on a foundation that's strong, our mission unwavering, and together we'll beat as one.